Welcome to Real Money Talks. Real strategies from the moneymakers and the world changers that you can use to make millions, keep those millions, multiply your wealth, and build your team. Here's your host, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View, Loral Langemeier.
So core values, as I was taught by Scott. Scott DeMolin's his name. He's the most extraordinary man. And I actually I'm going to write that down. I have got to bring him to us. I haven't seen him in a while. It's been a long time. I studied with him for a while, like really intensely. So values aren't your personality. It's nothing you can like shift. Core values are at a DNA level. It drives you like it has to get done. So some of you want to be healthy. Health is a core value to me, not because I about died last year. It always has been. Like I have worked out since I was little. I mean, and my dad got me running with him when I was, 4 or 5. I remember just being very physical. Like I have to sweat. Like it's a DNA need. I have I love working out. I know that's odd for some of you. Like there's just a thing. Spirituality, my connection, call God, faith, whatever you want to call it, drives my life. It's my number one value. So actually, I'm going to hesitate and not tell you any of my values anymore because I don't want to influence you to be like Loral. You need to drive. If you don't have it, you don't have it. I have clients who in other countries, integrity is not a word. They don't know right and wrong. They're not taught like that. They're taught survival. So in survival, you have a very different sense. And I have taught in all sorts of cultures in all sorts of ways. So this isn't for white people and it's not for certain age of people. This is people when you're born, your values are developed. And a lot of times they're never talked about, just like money. No one talks about what are your core values in kindergarten. You start seeing them young and right. It's a deep, you can't change them. You can change how you be around them, but it is a deep part of who you are. So let's go to the next slide. So the way that I did it, and I did it with Scott just this way. And when I did the big table way back in the day, we would do this with the first activity we do. Then I put it in here, which is why I bundled this. I put it in here. So there is a long, what I was taught with permission by Scott to put it in here with Bob on how to determine your values. There's a whole section on value determination. So we're just going to do the quick one tonight, just because we're already, I can't even believe it's already, we have 45 minutes left, 48 actually. So of these, if you want to do it quickly, or you can just kind of we'll leave this up on the screen. Let me go through what we're going to be doing. All right. We'll actually go to the next slide. Stephen will come back to this. That's going to be the faster way to teach it versus all of you making your own cards. But if you were to all have these little cards, I would have you make a list of the list that I just gave you and lay them out on a table where you can see them all. And then you want to put them in 3 groups. This is just sort of the initial sorting. And you don't have to be balanced. They don't have to be like the 10, 10, 10. That is not the goal. The 10 is you're going to pick up something like creativity. And you're going to say, creativity. Is that a yes? Absolutely. Right? And what I might have you look for is, can you live without it? If I took it away from you, could you absolutely live in that value and say, yeah, it's really not that big a deal? Now, I said no in the beginning. I said not much, right? So it's yes, maybe. I said not much. Like, I don't need to live with creativity. I mean, I love money. Like, money's my topic. Well, come to find out, creativity is very much in the top because I take the tax code as a very creative thing. Now, a lot of you think that is like the geekiest thing to do. Creativity in your craft is essential, but we took this activity to say, I didn't have it. I didn't put it up. It was way out here on the side. I put it down. I put it in that pile. It was like the not much pile. And then I lived it for a while. Like when I did this with God, I'm talking live it. And then every week we'd coach on it. And he said, is there anything missing in your life? I said, it seems numb, like boring. And he said, do we want to bring a value back? Is there something that if you lived that value? And so guess what? Rose back up. But this was months of just living consciously in what's important to you. And here's the big one. Right? So you're going to put your yes in a group and then you're going to move right over. You're going to move everything over. Now, Planet Zog is a funny little word. I just made that up. Actually, this is my makeup. But here's the power in this. You can have creativity. So this is when you get your pile of yeses, right? This is what I'm going to teach you what we're going to do. And then we're going to go back and we're going to go through it slower. You can have creativity. Let's just say creativity and wisdom were your like way at the top of your yeses. So here's how you sort. You say, I can have creativity. What do I have to do it this way? I can have creativity, but I can't have wisdom. That means you don't get it at all. Like it goes away. So then you have to negotiate with yourself. And you're like, no, I have to have wisdom because you can't have this. So what happens and should be happening in an adult brain, this does not happen for children. You have to really guide in a different way. This is an adult, developed brain. That means in your 20s, your brain isn't fully developed. And if you've had issues, given the football work I'm doing, 18 to 22, they're still developing. You're not formally formative in your brain for into your 20s. Okay, so just so you know, like this isn't for if you're younger out listening, you won't have the same process to go through it. Just go through it anyway, but live it, and then every year come back and do it. So here's what would happen if you say no, I really need the wisdom, because if I was wise, there's one way you could look at it. Your brain should be sorting this way. If I was wise, because I'm wise, creativity would be a part of it. Now, some of you would process that way, and then wisdom would take the top value. Some of you would say, oh, no, because I'm creative, I know that I will find my wisdom. There's no right or wrong. That's what you got to know about this. There's no right or wrong. And by the way, if you don't like the words, like some people don't like the word, like I don't have the word, I don't think I have the word. Tony Robbins uses the word love. And what does he use? I haven't done this for a little minute. Sorry. So if you don't like a word in love or family, so family to me is a choice to have a bonded group of, by blood or by decision, which a lot of my big table members are my family, my financial family. So by decision, they're my family. I think it's a result. I don't think it's a value. I think you develop that. But again, this is how I processed it. You can process however you want. What I want you to know is that you're living in your values is critical. So go back to the other slide, Steve. So here's what I want you to do. Pull out a piece of paper and very quickly be intuitive. Just use a gut instinct. You all have one. Honesty, yes, no, or maybe. Or yes, maybe, or not so much. Innovation, integrity. Like just say yes, maybe, not so much. Right? Family. So if you don't like the word family, you can put love. Right? Or if you don't like the word affection, put love. Again, I'm not attached to the word. I'm more attached to the process. Is learning a high value. Order. Like some of you might have a little, you need order to be effective. I do not need order. I create order through chaos. It drives everybody crazy. Do you need power? I know a lot of people think I need power. I don't need any power. Right? Oh, we have power twice on there, Steve. That's fine. Recognition. I don't need any recognition. I self-recognize. But you might need recognition, and it's not bad. There's nothing bad or different about any of this. Some of you need a sense of accomplishment, like to have you feel better and go to the next level. Right? Now, but not having power as a value doesn't mean you can't be powerful. I'm extremely powerful. I move a room by just walking into it if I want to. A lot of you, any of you have the same power to do that. You haven't activated that inside yourself yet. Isn't this fun? I hope you guys really get serious about this. I want to mentor a lot of you to like understand, live this. Peace, right? I know people who like conflict, they can't function unless it's peaceful. Like they need that in that calm. If you don't like the word, put calm or whatever that is. Intelligence, like having an intellect. Like it was so fun to have my son was with Kelly Corsick. We went down to my nephew's wedding, and like intellect and intelligence is a very high value of my son. Very high value. He seeks mentors that have just amazing IQs as his and matches that conversation that most people, honestly, it's like he'll talk for hours like that. Spirituality, right? Relationship to God. Again, if you don't like that, you could put your universe, you put God, you could put, you're Christian, you're, Muslim. We don't care. Like whatever that is, you got to put that there. Vitality. That's like that energy of being alive. Is security. Some of you have a huge security need, right? And at all costs, you will stay secure before like stepping further out. Wealth, believe it or not, wealth is not a value of mine. I love it's a result. So notice that you can go there. It's a result that I want to create, but I create the result by having integrity, by having self-respect. Like, right. So I'm sharing out loud because I want you to start noticing your value processing. You should be aligning the things that are really important to you: community, cooperation, creativity, freedom. Now, some of these feel like they're the same, so you can put the word together. Just give it the most powerful. So some of you will say, well, freedom and wealth feel the same to me. Well, then whatever you want, use that word. Right?
Can I ask a quick question, Laurel?
Oh, absolutely.
So as we're doing this exercise, how far back should we go? From when we were kids, or recent examples of how we're feeling? Or is it like the transition part? Like, is it like when we were kids, or now, or the experience?
Now. It's now. It's like a development of who you are now. How are you living now? And what would you, I'm going to use the word fight for. If I took things away from you now, like if you took away my ability to have a relationship, like a walk in faith, like my spiritual, you took that away, I mean, I'd fight like hell for it. So think about it like if you took it away, would you go fight for it? Or if somebody took one of these away, it'd be like, I could live without it. If you're like, I could live without it, it's not a value. Values are something that, I mean, it defines you. It defines you at a very core level. Right. So if you want the word trust, put trust with a word. Like it could be, a lot of people would put trust with, you could put it with integrity. You could put trust with honesty. So again, Rachel, we just don't have that word in this card deck, but you could put that word up there, right? So if that word means more to you, and because it has that driven and intention for you, then you can put that up there. Okay. So now with your top handful, however many that is, right? Now here's what I'm going to speak to. Some of you have too many yeses, like I got to have it all. No, you don't. You really. So let's go back to the next slide. I'm going to take you back to Planet Zog, right? And I called it that because I thought that was funny. So Steve, go to the next, right? So go to number 3. Now you have your batch of yeses. Now don't throw your other ones away. Just sit them over here and say, those aren't important to me for this little minute, right? So I'll pick like these two. It's like, so some of you would use responsibility and self-respect and say, they're really close. So some of you could say, because I'm responsible, I have self-respect. Some of you would say, no, because I have self-respect, I'm responsible. So what comes on top? You're stacking and you are prioritizing. There are values books. I've read lots of books on values where they're just getting you to a batch of them. Like I think somebody put in here at my solid top. So now what we're going to do, Anna, is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5, 6. You can go 4 to 6, but I need you to know your top, like minimum 4. All right. You're going to identify that batch, but then you're going to sort. But the way you sort is by this takeaway. And you can go wherever you want. You can go to Gen W. I mean, that's our new thing, so I have to change that. But you can have this, but you cannot have this, and just sit with it. Okay, you can't have responsibility. So if that's okay, you'll say, well, you know what? Because I have self-respect, I'm going to tuck this card under this card, and I get both because of the way I'm living. This isn't about holding them all and grabbing them all. So like Regina, you said harmony. Well, maybe that should go with peace, or change the word. Again, I'm not attached to the word. I'm attached to how it's going to drive your life, right? To live. Now, here's an interesting batch of 3. I think they're different, but some people have put integrity, self-respect, and responsibility together. And it's not about grabbing them all. It's about truly, what are the few words? Like, to me, integrity trumps all of this by far. But spirituality, for me, trumps it all. Because I have a relationship to God. I get it. I'm home. I got everything. Right? This is a choice. Integrity is a choice. But it's also a value set, meaning you're going to fight like hell for it. Somebody tries to take your right or wrong away, you fight like hell. The reason I'm willing to go to court, the reason I have defended myself and all that shit on the internet about me is that I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't rip people up. I didn't do any of those things. Not a chance. And I will fight for it, which is why Steve, who's amazing behind the scenes on my languaging, will say, if we did something wrong, call. And it's not about a right or wrong. but I can tell you integrity is a high. I'll fight for it. And yes, Josh, but family, I'll fight for my family all day long too. I fight for you guys. The stuff I do for you guys as a community to keep us alive and keep us thriving. I fight for this community every day I get up in service of providing a space, a marketplace that you can make money, a space that you get to become millionaires, a space you get to have conversations about money you can't have anywhere else. So what are your top values in order? And I would love if you have the courage and openness to do it, to share them out loud. Share them out loud now, so you can share them out loud on the chat. You can take a video, share them in the Millionaires in Training group. So again, Steve put up the Millionaires in Training group. I did fight to stay alive for you guys, right? So here, like freedom, integrity, spirituality, like you're going to put them together. Some people would say, well, because I'm free, I can have my spiritual relationship, or because I'm spiritual, I'm free, right? So just put them together in a way that makes sense for you. And you can just say, these are my top, right? Mine's spirituality, integrity, family, right across my leg. Truth, clarity and creativity, believe it or not, go together for me. Clarity is a very definitive, and clarity wasn't a card, right? That's a word that I gave to creativity when I really lived it for a long time. So here's how you're going to live it. You're just going to know that, write them down. Don't tattoo yourself quite yet. Seriously. So you're just going to live it for a while, but have it top of mind. Like, notice it. That's why I love journals. So at the end of the day, you just look back at those top 4, 5, 6 and say, how did I do today? How did I do? Give yourself a score. Say, did I live it fully? Was I fully in my value? And then some of you might say, well, I don't know if I'm fully in my value. So there's another activity that is in here about living fully in your value. So living fully would look like, you say that health is a value, right? So if health's a value, what do you have to do to say, when I am in my value of health, living it fully, I'm a 10. So you have to define it. Well, what does that mean? Well, I drink a ton of water. Ask my whole staff. They think I drink more water than everybody that ever works here. I love sleep. So there's certain things that when I'm a 10, these things have to happen. I have to ski. I got to be in the mountains. I got to be in the snow. Like, there's very specific things about how living fully in my value of health is a 10. And you know what? I'd say living every day. Lately, I've been a 6 or a 7. I haven't been honoring it. I haven't been 100% in those, like living it fully. So you come up with a list. And the list can't be too long. It's just going to be like enough things, like 3, 4 things per category. Because if you're going to live six values, and you got 10 things in each category, that's like 60 things a day you have to do. It's impossible. So what are the top things that when these things happen, you can say, I'm living my values. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fulfilled. That's what you want to feel like I did it. I'm crushing it. Right. And inside of that is whatever creates meaning for you and is important to you. What gets you up in the morning? What gets you excited? So there's a whole process to it. A lot of you, if you haven't gone through the expression of your power, so that's why we did this fun combination, because I think you need to journal a lot. I wouldn't have got it after months and months if I didn't do that. So it's really laid out in the expression of your power. And a lot of you have that. So you can just negotiate with our team if you don't want to get the whole bundle and you just want to get some of it. Just call our office and negotiate with our team. Everything's negotiable. I just want you to live in this process. And I've done this for a long time. So go to the next slide, Steve. A few things that will absolutely sabotage you is, go ahead, Steve, click, is too many rules, meaning there's too many things to do to say you're 100%. So for you to say, I'm 100% in my value of blah, 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 right? Then you're just going to set yourself up to fail because you can't do all those things. So what are the things you know that you could do and it feels good? It feels, I can get that done, achievable every day. Cannot be dependent on others. Well, when my significant other does blah, 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 then I'll be in my value. Cannot have any dependency. This is about you. And it can also not be attached to a goal that when I become a millionaire, then I'm free. No, you're going to live free. And then one day that goal is just going to happen. And then what, you're going to keep walking by it. Right. So it's really important. So you have to decide, you have to create, decide, and act in alignment to your values. And a lot of people, I mean, my favorite movie about values was with Mel Gibson, where he died for his value of freedom. I mean, you know, people's values right now by the way they're living with all this pandemic and what's going on. It is, you know, I would say we're going to come together. It has divided us. It has divided people, and they're fighting like hell for their values. Now, some you could say you're fighting for a cause, and some say it's about politics. So you could go a whole bunch of directions. But at the core, what makes your decisions every day is the values that you live by. Right? It's absolutely critical. So with that, let's go back to the next slide and apply them to your 8 areas of life. All right. So I wanted to do a little more layering tonight in helping you understand your core values. Now, with your values in hand, what do you want with money? What do you want in 2022? What do you want in the area of personal development? Like, I only have a few. I want to learn crypto, NFTs. We're going to launch an NFT, so I better know enough about it. We're going to partner it up with our book launch. We're going to create this Gen W. Like, that's enough. Like, we're good. Right? You don't need a whole laundry list. You need, like, some of you just say, I want to be financially literate. That's a lot to do, a lot of subcategories. What are the things with health that you want inside your value set? What are the areas of spirituality, family, significance? So you guys get it. So you take your values and now you lay them right under or over. I'd say under. They're going to be the muscle, the strength behind these areas of your life that say, I'm going for it in these areas. And it's okay, by the way, to say, you know, there's a few areas of my life, because some of you, like, you got a lot going on, right? I just pick 1 or 2 areas to focus on, because when you grow in one area, everything else expands. So sometimes you might want to say, like, I know a few of you on the call, you went through hellacious divorces. Just don't have just your significant relationship would be with myself. It's okay. You don't have goals in every one of these areas, right? There are times in my life where I've had so much fun. Like, I was like crazy. It's like I go button down for a little minute, and I got to get my personal development, my money back up, you know, because I was out playing for a while, you know? So there's just times where it's okay to put some of these intentionally off to the side and say, I'm not leaving you, but you're not getting a lot of my energy this year. I'm going over here. So I just want to give you a lot of permission to set and be successful with yourself. So with that, I want to pause that for a moment and bring in a few other conversations. So Adam Mortimer, you want to jump into any additions to that? Adam Kitmus, all of you jump in. Eileen, what do you want to contribute for some of this at this point?
Yeah. You know, I think one thing to remember is whatever you focus on is going to expand, right? So what are you choosing to focus on? And I think this is what this is all about, right? It's what are you choosing to focus on? I love what my mentor would always say. He said, a life lived with intentionality is a life well lived. And so this is about being intentional. It's about not living by default. And so I love it. I love this exercise. I love the value exercise. This is a new technique for me, which is really cool to see this. But this is what it's about at the end of the day, is aligning your values with your goals, so that at the end of the day, you can make all this money, but if it's not in alignment with values, you're going to feel hollow. You're going to feel like it's just not going to feel right. But when values align with what you want to accomplish, it's an amazing feeling.
That's awesome. And I want to say, challenge yourself. Don't question yourself, right? Don't question, am I really doing this? Challenge yourself. Am I really doing this? Right? It's so easy to question ourselves and then to back off, rather than challenging ourselves to live up to. So as you're going through these values, really challenge yourself. Are you doing it? If you're not willing to push forward and do, then it's not a core value. And that doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means it's not a core value. Throw that one out and find one you're willing to challenge yourself every day for.
Absolutely. I'm going to answer.
Loral, the only thing that I will add to this is that everyone here has just been given a fabulous gift, the opportunity to actually do this exercise. Talking to intention. Is it your intention to do this, or just hear it and not take any action on it? You really want to take this gift that Loral just gave you. It is a fabulous process to do. I coach people in this process all the time, whether it's in their passions, their values, what it is that they want to achieve in their life. This is an amazing process. Please make sure you actually do it. And we want to see some of your information, your results over in the Millionaires in Training Facebook group.
Absolutely. And for those of you, just so if you don't know, these three are absolutely three of our top coaches. So some of you who have signed into our big table or 100K or whatever acceleration coaching or whatever coaching process you are doing with us, you are always welcome to say, I want that coach, right? Because these are three of our top that we've invited to come and be part of this. We invited them in on the December 21st and invite them now. So we all have coaches. We expect you all to have them. I can't imagine. I would say the word, and I never use that word scary. I could not imagine living without a coach. Like somebody I can just say, what do you think about that? Like, here's how I'm thinking about that deal or that project. I mean, what do you think about it? Like I'm talking to so many of my mentors right now about how in this environment, which all the news and fake news and whatever you want to call it, the media outlets, the traditional PR where you get interviewed on TV, it's about politics. It's about all the drama that's going on. It's not, when's the last time you saw somebody interviewed, unless they have their own show, right, about a new book that came out? Oprah doesn't do it, right? Dr. Phil doesn't do it anymore. You don't see it on TV shows. You don't see it on Fox and Friends. Every book I launched on Fox and Friends, they're like, oh, we don't have time for anything but what's the news right now. I'm like, so I tell you, like, you have got to really, so I'm asking everybody, I'm asking all my mentors, what'd you do? I'm calling people who are on bestseller lists. What did you do? How did you make it? How'd you get through this noise and breakthrough? And I just share that because I don't think enough of you are talking about your goals. What do you want? How are you going to create something? You got to live this out loud. And we do, like Adam and Adam said, take these areas, put your value set to them, and go set some goals. So let's go to the next slide and go through. This is a fun activity that
Hey, Laura, can I say something?
Oh, absolutely.
So I see this happen a lot because I work with a lot of millionaires and some billionaires, and the goal a lot of people have is to, create all this wealth. But if they don't create the values ahead of that wealth, they get the wealth, and then all of a sudden they're like, they've lost their family, they lost their friends and all that kind of thing. And so I teach people, if you don't have the values up front, and even if you create that wealth, and if you don't teach that, and here's a lesson everyone should do when you're doing these values, do it with your kids too. Because if they don't have the values, the worst thing you want to do is give them a lot of money when you're gone, and you'll ruin that generation and the next generation.
Yeah.
So values are so important.
Thank you. And it's great to have you. Marlon also is one of our top coaches. So excited that you are here tonight. And a huge, huge fan. I should say fan, but walks the talk in generational wealth. Because again, you're going to create this wealth and hand it to uneducated kids. It's a big problem. That's why the big table became family. And bring your family, bring your kids. They have to know this. It's really important. You would be in these conversations, and you got to lead it. And I'm gonna use the word courageous a lot more this year. You've got to be brave. You've got to say, even if you don't feel comfortable doing it, use the book. I have so many people doing book clubs together where they're reading the book and then they're interpreting, is this what it meant? Is this how I live it? Like really deeply integrate the financial literacy and the action in your life. The gap analysis, where are you? What did you accomplish? Again, we'll be doing strategy sessions with our team. And every one of you has opportunity to have appointments with our team about what you want. And then what did you accomplish and what do you want? And then, as you know, with us, we're going to focus on your income, going for that 100,000 minimum. If not, some of you have a big millionaire goal, but income is on the income side, becoming a millionaire is on the asset side, right? It can be, you can make $1 million, but if you spend 900 of it, you netted 100, you got a net out of 100. You're not a millionaire yet. And there are people who, teach that. So the other thing I want to invite you to do is put a gap analysis in your work. Like as a coach, this is where I made it up, is all of you, if you're a marketing expert, you could do a bottom, what did you accomplish? What are you accomplishing now in your marketing? And then you could do at the top and say, what do you want in your marketing? And then in between, you say, I'm going to lead gen or whatever you're going to do. There's your plan. Like a gap analysis is a sales tool, right? In any category. So I don't care if you're in health, if you are in success principles, if you're in credit. What's Eileen going to do when you work with her in credit? Where are you today? What do you want? Here's your credit today. I want it to be 800. All right, we got a gap. We need a plan. Here's your credit repair plan. So I just invite you all to use this as a tool to do your own strategy sessions, your own gap analysis, because this helps you identify who your better clients are. So we want to, again, invite all of you. If you have not been assigned or haven't heard from your strategist, you can just say no in the chat. And our team, we have a whole team here just brought everybody in some dinner, and our team's here for a while. So if you haven't had a strategy session in a while, you want one, you don't know who your strategist is, just say nope, don't know. And Molly, Lavelle, Kristen, Joe, our team will be on the phones and texting with you right away. All right, perfect. So this is Loral, and you've been listening to my podcast. If you've enjoyed this, I have a couple things you can do that are completely up to you. Number one, take my quiz. Go to integratedwealthsystems.com and take the quiz. You will find that there's one of 4 personalities, financial personalities we call them, that you're going to fall into. So as you take the quiz, it'll actually go through and identify, are you in stagnant cash flow, right? Are you overpaying taxes? Do you have debt issues? Are you a lifestyle junkie? Where are you? And then from there, it goes to a video that actually gives you some solutions on how to correct that problem. So again, go to integratedwealthsystems.com, take my quiz, and we'll go from there.
Thanks for listening to the Real Money Talks podcast. Your host has been Loral Langemeier, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View. Want to learn more about off-Wall Street investing, tax strategies, and multi-million-dollar business strategies? Visit liveoutloud.com/podcast for past episodes, show notes, and resources. For some special wealth-building gifts only for Loral's podcast listeners, visit liveoutloud.com/podcast gifts. Do you have a burning question for Loral? Visit askloral.com to submit your question, and it may just be covered on a podcast episode. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to get new episodes every week.